This is our Mars colonization, Earth corporations. This is the first colony that Earth has sent to Mars. Today we'll be giving a tour of our colony. First off, over here we have our rocket that brought us up to Mars. Up here, as you can see, we have our flag of a rocket ship. It represents how we got here. Inside here we have a map of our colony, and over here we have our monument, which is a globe of Earth. It reminds us of the planet we live on.
Here's our entertainment room, which is where we spend our free time. In it, we have a computer for gaming, a flat screen television, and a bookshelf with many books. We also have our couch here to relax during our free time. On the opposite side of the entertainment room, we have our medical facility, where we store our medical supplies such as bandages and medicine. We also have beds here for us to rest when we're injured or hurt.
The location we chose to set up our Mars base is Planet Boreum, aka Mars North Pole. It is located at 88 degrees north and 15 degrees east. We chose this location because there's a lot of water ice, making extracting water easier. The North Pole is also 6 kilometers lower in elevation than the South Pole, so the astronauts would have more time to slow down the ship and get it in the proper position for a safer landing. The only bad thing about this landing spot is that it has incredibly harsh temperatures compared to other locations on Mars. We are colonizing Mars because we need a backup plan for humanity in case something happens to Earth, making it inhabitable, such as big volcanic eruptions or a meteorite. Here's the garage for this rover. It comes inside the garage to charge or to avoid a storm. We have become Earth independent by being able to produce water, power, oxygen, and other living necessities just by using the things we brought to Mars. We need around 200,000 gallons of water per year just for us 5 people. To get water, we have this giant drill that drills into the ground, inserts a heat probe, and melts the ice underground so it becomes water. The water is then sucked up and then filtered so it's not deadly anymore. You can produce around 600 gallons of water a day, which equals to around 220,000 gallons a year.
Next, we need to get electricity. To get electricity, we will be using solar panels. The average person uses 30 kilowatts of power per day, and we would also need to power our Moxie generators for oxygen, which take 25 kilowatts of power. We would need about 325 solar panels, which would generate 175 kilowatts of electricity per day. Although this would be a good method of getting power, these solar panels would take a very long time to put up. So while we're building the solar panels, we are going to use radioisotope thermoelectric generators, or RTG for short. Each RTG would produce 110 kilowatts of electricity per day, so we will have 2 RTGs to sustain us until we get the solar panels up. It is no guarantee that each person would use their 30 kilowatts, so we will have batteries that hold 50 kilowatts to power things like our rover, water filters, etc.
The final necessity we can produce is oxygen. Over in this room, we have tubes that are able to hold extra or emergency oxygen. Up the stairs, we have our monitoring system. This is where we can see if our oxygen production is low and we can solve it. In the corner, we have a Moxie generator. The Moxie generator is the main source of our oxygen. It draws in the Martian air and filters out all the dust, where it is then pressurized and heated to 800 Celsius. It is then processed through a solid oxide electrolyzer. The electrolyzer then breaks down the CO2 into oxygen ions and carbon monoxide. Finally, it releases the oxygen so that we can breathe on Mars. We also have several of these separated around our base.
In space, it's important to have a source of protein in your diet. What better way of gaining protein than by eating meat? We agreed that a chicken would be a fairly good contender. To create chickens, we'll use a lab as a setting to gather a chicken from embryos. The embryos will rest in an incubator in a controlled temperature as time goes by. The embryos will start to develop bodily features such as the heart, blood, and vessels.
This is the office. Here, we will hold important meetings and make decisions that will decide what we do on Mars. We also have a gym to be able to stay healthy, as the lowered gravity means that your bone and muscle will lose density a lot faster. In the gym, we have punching bags, bench presses, and more.
In this direction, we have our dining room and our kitchen. In the dining room, we have a table and color-coded carpets so that we know where to sit while we're eating. Upstairs, we have our kitchen where we make food. In our kitchen, we have storage barrels, an oven, another oven, a cutting board, a trash chute, and a fridge. Heading back downstairs, we have our bathrooms, where each of them hold a toilet, a shower, and a sink. Over here we have our bedrooms. Everyone in our crew has their separate bedroom, which is all 216 blocks in volume, and that we all custom designed. Here's my bedroom. This is Tony's bedroom. Over here, Zyken's bedroom. All the way on the other side over here is Curtis's bedroom. And right next to his is Durrani's bedroom.
All of our plants and poultry are kept inside of this room. To our left, we have the chicken coop, and on our right, we have plants growing. We use something called hydroponics to help the food grow. You can see right here. Hydroponics is a design for growing plants with the use of little soil. This is an efficient way to grow plants due to the soil on Mars being toxic and unviable to grow crops. We're using two types of hydroponics. One of them is called the anthroponic system. It uses human waste like urine as a source of nutrients to grow plants. Another system we use is called the drip system, which uses a pump to dispense an amount of nutrients and water at a certain interval to grow plants. For our diet, we decided on growing potatoes, lettuce, wheat, and sugarcane. Potatoes are found to be the most reliable source of carbs. Carbs are what you need in survival as well as other nutrients. Lettuce and sugarcanes provide plenty of healthy nutrients for the body. Wheat can be used to make bread as a form of grains.
On Mars, there are extreme temperatures, especially at the North Pole. Temperatures can be as low as negative 220 degrees Fahrenheit and as high as 70 degrees Fahrenheit. To solve this, we'd have something like air conditioning in our base, but it would be much stronger as the temperatures are more extreme. There's also a ton of radiation on Mars, so to protect ourselves, we would need spacesuits to go outside, or just stay inside the base to stay safe. Mars' atmosphere is 100 times denser than Earth's atmosphere, and it is mainly made out of carbon dioxide, so you can't breathe on Mars. To add this, there is very low atmospheric pressure on Mars, so if you try to breathe, you would suffocate and your blood would boil. This means that we would need to wear our spacesuits to go outside, and we would need to generate oxygen inside our base to live without a spacesuit on. Another problem is the dust and dust storms on Mars, which are toxic and would kill you if you are outside in the dust storm. While we can't solve this problem, we can stay inside our base while there is a dust storm. Our bones will also lose density a lot, as there is much lighter gravity on Mars. We would need to exercise a lot to keep our bone density.